Hey guys, welcome to another War Thunder video. Yes, again, I'm pumping these things out like they're going out of style. Now today, this is after the update that happened yesterday for me, and the update that added Italy, and also it added this plane, the Bf109A. And this is the plane you're going to be showing today. This plane was gifted to me by Gaijin. When I logged on, I got a message from Gaijin saying, "Hey, thanks your support of our game. We'd like to give you a plane." So guess what? They gave me the Bf109A. Excuse me. Now, the Bf109A, it normally is 250 golden eagles, which is quite cheap, and for the plane that you get, that's really, really good priced. Now, you guys probably thinking, what's the difference between the A versus the B late? Well, the B late has overheating issue. If you're using manual engine controls, it's a bitch to operate the prop control, and it's just overall it's not as smooth of a plane. This thing has full trim control, aileron, rudder, and elevator. Does not overheat. Seriously, you have your radiator set to 10%, and no prop pitch control, so you don't have to deal with that. Now, the one issue, as you'll see here, as I am climbing a little bit, is that when you go into a dive, you can over-rev your engine. That's because the propeller is a full wood propeller, just much like a biplane. The battle rating of this plane is a 1.3. And as you can tell, 1.3 shows. This plane at a 1.3 BR is quite devastating. Despite only having two MG17s on it, it's more than enough to take out your opponent if you know what you're doing. Mainly because you also get 1,000 rounds of ammo. That and also German tracers are quite nice. Now it does suffer from lockup, and there we go, there's my engine over revving right there. And for some reason, I did not suffer permanent engine damage. My plane went right back to normal. There was no damage at all. I thought I was hurting for a while until I had a look at my plane later, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. More of my absolute shit aim. Gotta love my aim. That was such an easy kill there, and I completely fucked it up. Now, the interesting thing about the Bf109A is that this is the Spanish Bf109A. It is not the German one. This one was when the Bf109 was first made, and they went over to Spain for the Spanish Civil War. And that's exactly the skin that's on it. Now, it's not actually under Spanish license. It doesn't have the special tag next to its name. But it does actually have a special name. I think it's like the Flegel or something like that. But it's just overall a very nice plane. It's faster than anything that you'll face. Mostly, unless you're facing like P40s. But that's like terrible, terrible matchmaking. Anyway, scoring my first kill. Of the game anyway. I've gotten quite a few kills with this thing already. Going after the Hawker Fury. Now the Fury, for some reason, I don't know why he went into the vertical after that 112. And the 112 you can outrun him all day. And just more shit aim on my part. I wasn't going to chase him to the vertical. This thing does have a pretty low stall speed about it, but it is, it does not handle stalls very well. Once again, going after the F3, F2, and I end up actually taking him out. The Hawker Fury tries going on my tail, and, well, I just used my speed. This plane really is far superior to everything else that you're facing. And the reason why I say this plane's better than the B8 is, one, that this plane is faster, it has a better climb rate, it has a better dive rate. This plane is actually better than the B model. Anyway, guys, that was the end of the first game. The Bf109A is definitely quite the performer, and I will show you guys the stat card. Second place, with a really good amount of silver, and a fairly good amount of XP. Gotta remember, this is a rank 1 1.3 BR plane. with quite a decent amount of wards too. This plane is very user friendly. The only problem with it though, compared to the other 109s, is that this does not have any armor at all. So be careful. Anyway, next battle is a mixed battle on Port Morris Bay. Once again, using manual engine controls. Now, since I know Morris Bay is a harder map, I went to my radiator to about 25%, just right around there. I switched my spark plug timing to 1.2, as you'll see down there, as the magneto. Now, the problem is that if you're using manual engine controls, the magneto 1.2 will give you the most RPM and most power out of this engine, but it creates the most heat. Now, cooling isn't an issue with this plane. It's really, really good. Problem is, though, is that it over revs in a dive. And as you guys saw before, it does over rev in a dive quite easily. But that's really not much of an issue. You just gotta back off your throttle, which is quite nice. Once again, more spaghetti planes. I mean, there was about, I think, 108 Italian planes on at the time to literally 3 Germans. And this is getting nuts. It is so hard to get a game. And just so you guys know, the time for getting these games was about 8 minutes in a queue. Now, if you're allied, this is a seal clubbing fest here. Nobody knows what they're doing. At all. But if you're Axis, however, trying to fly Germany, good luck. You're not going to be able to get a game, first of all. And second of all, when you do, it's most likely going to be full of spaghetti. And once again, going after the BA-165. Or the BS-165, I can't tell you right now. My screen's so small. Anyway, I end up pilot sniping him, taking him out. But he does damage my engine. Seeing that, I decided I'm going to go land, because the engine on this plane is very fragile. It is a good motor, very good motor, but it is just fragile. And you guys will see on how easy this plane is to land. Another thing to mention about the Bf109A is that it's the lightest of all the Bf109s. Reason being, this plane's made out of wood. It has a wood propeller, has wooden spars, or actually it has a metal wing spar, but the actual wing ribs are wood. It's essentially a aluminum coated wood frame. This plane is very light, and you'll see it when you start to land. When you start to land, careful on the brakes. You will flip your plane over horrendously. It's not even funny how easy this thing will tip over on you. But it's as simple as just dropping your throttle to 30-40%, flaps, and gear. You're done. Just guide it right on in. And you see, I do have my stick all the way up. And the reason being is because of the brake issue. And there we go. See, it tried nosing over right there. Just a quick repair on the airfield, and we'll be back up in the air. Once again, just a very beautiful plane. The cockpit on it's also a very nice cockpit as well. Probably the best of the Bf109s, I'd say. Once again on takeoff, making sure my radiator was set to proper, and just as easy as pushing up the throttle like any other plane. Now, I have flown this thing in simulator, and it is a dream in simulator. This plane handles like no other. It has no fuss, no foul. It flies beautifully, has trim on everything, as I said earlier. The cockpit's gorgeous, easy to look at, not hard on the eyes at all. And just overall, it's a phenomenal performer. And on top of that, it's also 1.3 BR in sim as well. So you get you face biplanes in this damn thing. It is a dream. Now, upon takeoff, I noticed that there's only a handful of planes, but there are a couple of them coming in pretty damn close. Now, this is actually sort of a misspoken alliance here. Me and an I-15R, I believe, or W, one or the other, We actually teamed up pretty well here on taking out some of these biplanes, such as that CR-32. Now, I decided to go after the CR-32 despite there being other targets because, one, he was getting really close for comfort, and a CR-32, depending what variant it is, can be very nasty because I think that thing has 50 cals on it. Now, I'm not sure what orientation he was in. He was approaching quite quickly. Got a couple shots off, nothing severe. Spraying like hell when it shouldn't have. I-15 comes in, I see that, I decide to just draw him onto my tail and let the I-15, oh, it's WR, come in on my tail and see if he can knock him out. In turn, he distracts the CR-32. I come back around, try to get a couple shots. Maneuverability on this plane is incredible. And I did the most damaging shot I ever could have. The central gear leg, I mean, oh man, he is fucked. I mean, oh shit, man. I mean, I don't even know how that plane's still flying without its central gear leg. Oh. Anyway, I dive away. I-15 gets the kill. I get the assist. Very nice. Also have my chat turned off as well just because there's way too many pizza jokes going on that I just cannot handle. Way too many Italian jokes. I mean, it is not even funny. I mean, it isn't funny. It's just bad jokes. Anyway, coming in, there's a BA, whatever the hell those things are, ugly ass plane, and I ripped this guy apart. I-15, I mean, everybody's lighting this guy up. I get a critical hit on his right wing. I come back around. He's trying to dogfight with it. No idea why. That thing does not have the maneuverability. I come back around on his tail. His gunner is damaging me a little bit. Remember, this plane is pretty fragile. But I just unloaded into him. All 1,000 of my rounds. I made sure this guy was not going anywhere. I mean, I actually could have stopped shooting like not too long ago because I think I killed his engine. And so I just kept on shooting him, set him on fire. Fire ain't enough. You're still dying, buddy. I'm putting you down. You're dead. Done. I just ripped him apart. Anyway, that was the end of the game. Essentially, it was a ground one victory. One more ground unit got destroyed, and woohoo, victory. And anyway, on to the stat screen. Gorgeous plane. There we go, second place again. With a hefty amount of credits made and a iffy amount of research. Anyway, guys, see ya.